Okay. Let's see my banner. Okay. And you're a good woman and you deserve a good man. Here's why you haven't achieved that. Going live. Live. Okay. Okay, so today's topic, here we go. You're a good woman and you deserve a good man. Here is why you haven't achieved that. What up? Achieve that. Let's talk. Okay. Hopefully I spelled everything right. You're a good woman and you deserve a good man. Here's why you haven't achieved that. That is today's topic on live on Facebook, live on Instagram. All right. And then let me pull this up. I'm excited for today. I'm excited because it's going to be a good topic. I got to get my little notes. All right. What up, Facebook? What up, Instagram? Let me get my headphones on and we will get it going. You're a good woman and you deserve a good man. Here's why you haven't achieved that. That is the topic for today. So, hey, Melody. That is the topic. Okay, let me move this over here. This, and there we go. Headphones are in, so I assume that means you can hear me, Melody, since I saw your comment. And I just want to make sure you can still hear me with my headphones in. I am live on Instagram, live on Facebook. All right. Okay. Hopefully the internet will be nice to me today. Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, let's go. All right, hi, Facebook. What's up, Instagram? Okay, so today's topic, you're a good woman and you deserve a good man. We're going to talk about why you haven't achieved that. And this is, I'm forgetting what episode we are on, but it is a masterclass series that I'm doing. I believe we're on, this is episode 4. Don't get me started. I don't want to lie. But anyway, we're in the masterclass series. My masterclass is titled, the umbrella of it is how to stop the cycle, how to dodge dysfunctional relationships. Okay. Because the women that I speak to are in the cycle of dysfunctional relationships. And I want to help you stop that cycle. Okay. So today's title, as mentioned, you're a good woman and you deserve a good man. And here's why you haven't achieved that. So this episode is for the woman who feels like, I'm a good woman. Where's my good man? Why am I not married? Does that mean there's something wrong with me because I don't have this man? Okay. You feel like, yo, like I have my career together, my life together, but for some reason my love life is trash. Why is it? You're good at taking care of yourself, especially when it comes to your career. You know you're a smart woman, but you don't understand why you keep getting into this cycle of dysfunctional relationships, whether it be with one guy, your baby daddy, or it be with, 2 or 3 guys. You've dated Tom, Dick, and Harry. And unfortunately, that relationship has been the same. It was like copy paste, a cycle of dysfunction that you are in. And you're like, I don't understand why I keep getting into this cycle. So my name is Rika. Okay. What up? Who am I? Well, I'm a certified NLP life coach, AKA the Single Girls Life Coach. I'm the founder of Single You Academy and the host of Single You, the podcast. I help single women discover their worth so that you can stop tying your worth and identity to men, and I guide the women, my clients, who want better when it comes to men and setting boundaries, knowing yourself, understanding your worth, and what makes a healthy relationship. Okay, so if you feel like you fall in there somewhere, you might want to stick around and listen to this episode. We are not going to be any longer than 40 minutes. Okay? All right, let's get into it. You're a good woman and you deserve a good man. Here's why you haven't achieved that. You say that. I'm a good woman. I deserve a good man. And I would say, yes, but how you execute that is not good for you. You think that because I'm a good person, I feel like I can create a good man for me. Like you sticking around, you being the ride or die, you loving him correctly. You feel like you can create this good man. I'm a good woman. I deserve a good man. I deem it you. I'm going to make you my good man. Instead of waiting for that good man, God has created for you. So we talked about this yesterday and in the series as I've been doing the lives here on Facebook and Instagram, how my philosophy is you need to leave the changing up to God and the loving of people up to you. But loving somebody doesn't mean you have to be with them. You don't have to physically be in a relationship. Loving somebody doesn't tether us to somebody. Because I know a lot of women, and we talked about this yesterday and throughout the series, so I won't stick on this point too much, but a lot of women, their excuse for staying with the man who's treating them like trash is, but I love him. Love doesn't tether you to somebody. Who told you that? And why do they have to be right? Because my Bible don't say that. So again, yes, you are a good woman and you deserve a good man, but how you execute that, how you're going about it today is not helping you. Because how's that working out for you? How's that working out for you? So I got this message from a girl the other day, and she said, Rika, why is it that a man will say he is interested in you, but then he will ghost you when you tell him you won't have sex with him for a while until you like get to know him, right? This keeps happening to me, and it really takes a hit on my self-esteem. So here's the problem. It takes a hit on your self-esteem because your identity is tied to a man. Your identity is tied to a man. So every time you get rejected, you feel like, oh, but I'm a good woman. Okay, so that means there must be something wrong with me because Tom, Dick, or Harry doesn't want to be with me. That's not facts. This notion, this thought process that you have that just because I like him, that means he's going to like me and everybody should like me. Life doesn't work that way. You don't like everybody. So why do you assume that everybody is going to like you? Therefore, when a man doesn't like you, why does it take a hit on your self-esteem? Oh, I know why. Because your identity is tied to a man. You have got to break free of this thought process that only a man deems me worthy. I'm here to tell you that you are worthy regardless of your relationship status, period. What up? What up? On Instagram. I'm live on Facebook and Instagram. As you see, this is today's topic. You're a good woman and you deserve a good man. Yes, but here's why you haven't achieved that. Your thought process, the way you think about relationships is totally wrong. The way you think about your worthiness is totally wrong. Your behavior being this good woman is trying to force the situation. So you're allowing men to treat you like whatever, trash, yesterday's news, disrespectful, walking all over you, cheating on you, calling you any old kind of name, but a child of God. He calls you everything under the sun, but a child of God, manipulating you, lying to you. And your behavior is to stay with him, to be this ride or die chick because I'm a good woman. And so my goodness will rub off on him and then he will become the man that I need him to be. Listen, nobody is who you want them to be. They are who they are. Just because you want somebody to be better doesn't mean they will. Who are you, God? I argue you are not. So it doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter. And this is what you're doing. You have no boundaries with men. You give the benefit of the doubt too much. You see potential in him and you're trying to cultivate that for him. Well, I see you can be this, so let me help you get to this. Let me cultivate you. Potential is a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's not on you to make him be, make him become. But you're like, well, if I'm just good enough, if I love him enough, then he will turn into. It's not how it works. It's not how any of this works. Your thinking is off because you're thinking, well, I'm treating him right and he should do the same to me. Why can't he? I hear that from a lot of women. Well, why can't he just? Because that's him. Sorry. And you trying to figure out why can't he just is going to cause you a lot of pain. And you will continue to be in this cycle of dysfunction with him, trying to figure out why can't he just? Let me just love him enough so he will. That's not how any of this works. You see, the problem is you think that if I treat somebody well, they will treat me well. Because the Bible does talk about do unto others as you would have them do unto you. But the reality is, yes, you being a good person, doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, you are supposed to do that. But it is not a magic pill to make them then treat you the way you would want to be treated. Are you following? Is this tracking? Type yes in the comments. So I can be as nice as I want to be to people, respectful, setting boundaries, whatever. But it doesn't mean that then that person is going to then do it to me just because I was nice to them. That's not humanness. Humans don't operate that way. We don't. So I'm calling you to a higher woman to think differently the way you think about relationships. Because is there a promise for marriage in the Bible? So far, I haven't found one. God does not promise you marriage. And even if there is, maybe I haven't found it in my studies yet, is there an age requirement? God loves you more if you get married by 25. So where's the rush? Because can you show me that scripture? Well, God will love you more if you are married by 25. And what happens is you hit 30 and you're not married yet. You're like, but I'm a good woman. Where's my good man? I'm going to force this man into being my good man because society told me I have to be married and have kids. I get it. There's a lot of pressure. I get it. And we're going to get into the fact on how nobody has sat us down and had these conversations with us about what makes a healthy relationship versus unhealthy and how you can now do that for yourself. We're going to walk through that. But first, I just want to hit on this point that just because you're a good woman doesn't mean you can create a good man. He has to become on his own. So you sticking around and letting him treat you like yesterday's trash, it's not going to work. This ride or die notion, you don't get to take your traumas out on me. You need to see a therapist every Tuesday at 2 p.m. That's what my girl Carla says all the time. She's like, I need men who see their therapist at Tuesday at 2 p.m. on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. So you're doing all of the above, what we just talked about, instead of guarding your heart and only allowing men in who's shown you they meet your expectations. What are your expectations? What do you expect out of relationship? So you just let any man in, any man that you are attracted to. Because when they find, man, I tell you, they just get away with everything because we just like, man, he's fine. And I know this because I've done this. What up, Mindy? I see you're saying I'm glitchy. Nothing I can do now. I will be switching back to Spectrum. I switched my internet to Ziply Fiber. We are getting rid of Ziply Fiber because every time I've gone live now with Ziply Fiber, whatever it's called, everybody tells me I'm glitchy. So I just have to keep going for right now. All right. So what you need to be doing is guarding your heart. Okay. Because what is the rush? You know, the Bible talks about in Psalms Trust the Lord and do good things. Live in the land and practice being faithful. Faith without works is dead. So wouldn't practicing being faithful be tied to our behaviors? What do I mean by that? We're not practicing being faithful when we're settling for whatever comes our way, for the next man who hits on us. Oh, well, I'm excited. He picked me. He asked me out and he's so fine. And then you see all of these red flags and you understand that he doesn't meet your expectations. But because you're a good woman, you're trying to pull him up to become a good man. You're trying to mold him into this good man instead of him already being. It is okay to want that. Give yourself permission to already want a man who's already arrived, who's already become. It doesn't matter how good you are. If the man you're dating is trash, if that is his character, that is his character until he decides to change it. Not because, see, we think, oh, if I stay with him and if I love him so much, he'll love me so much, he'll change for me. Good luck with that. The Bible also talks about seek your happiness in the Lord and he will give you your heart's desires. So you desire a good man, right? But what I believe is you desire that. You don't know how to get it though. And I believe that once you lean more into God and you practice the faithfulness, I believe your desires will become God's will for your life and something higher than these low vibrational relationships you've been experiencing. But you got to lean into God and do what verse 3 said. Trust the Lord and do good things. Live in the land and practice being faithful. Because waiting on, quote unquote, a good man, the man that's perfect for you. And I say perfect for you intentionally because there is no perfect, but there is a perfect for you. But waiting on that guy takes faith. And what you are showing God when you settle for whatever is that you have no faith. You're not leaning into that. You don't trust God. And Ephesians in the Bible, it warns us, it says, be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but live like those who are wise. And if I asked you, do you think it's wise to stay with a man who has shown you he can't be trusted, who has shown you his character is trash? How much time are you willing to waste on a guy waiting for him to become a good man? Because you think being a good woman will create a good man. That's not how any of this works. So I got a message from another girl and she says, wow, every guy I date ends up being emotionally unavailable, looking for something casual. He ends up being too busy for me. Anyone else experience this? And I was like, yep. She goes, I need to ask guys what they want sooner than what I've been doing. Exactly. Yes, ask sooner. However, be careful of the group absolute thinking, because that'll cause you to settle. So if you're thinking, man, every dude I date is emotionally unavailable, every dude is this, every dude is that, that is actually going to cause you to settle because you're going to have this mindset, well, they're all like this. So let me just see which one I can put up with, which one I can create in him to be a good man because I'm a good woman. How is that working out for you? Is this tracking? Does this make sense? Is this resonating with you? You can type yes in the comments. So remember when I said it takes a hit, like when guys, okay, hold on. Remember when I said this, when this girl messaged me this message, she sent this to me. She said, why is it a man will say he is interested in you, then he'll ghost you when you say, listen, sex is off the table. I just want to get to know you. This keeps happening to me and it takes a hit to my self-esteem. And I said that it takes a hit to her self-esteem because her identity is tied in a man. So remember when I said that. So your identity is tied to a man because every time a man doesn't want to go out with you or he doesn't like you the way you like him, you're like, oh, woe is me. I suck at life. It's because your identity is tied to men. And the Bible talks about my people are destroyed because they lack knowledge. Because you're lacking in the understanding that you are worthy regardless of your relationship status. Regardless of your relationship status. And this is not to sit here and judge you. I know you because I was you. I was here. I was exactly where you are between 2015 and 2017. And then I had to go on this whole journey of discovering my worth so I can stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships, so I can stop tying my identity to men. I went on that journey when I went to Mexico in 2017 after my abusive ex actually broke up with me. This is what we talked about yesterday. He broke up with me saying that he couldn't trust me. Mind you, he was cheating on me the whole 2-year relationship, and I never cheated. But he was projecting. That is called projection. So after he broke up with me, I went to Mexico, and there were 3 questions I asked myself. Who am I? Who does God say I am? How do I want to show up in this world from now on? Because society, that guy, was calling me everything under the sun but a child of God, and was trying to mirror to me what they wanted me to be. And society will definitely tell women over and over again, you are not worthy until you are married. Where your man at? Where your man at, and where your kids at? That's like question number 1 and number 2 that everybody asks you at the barbecue. So here's what came out of that trip to Mexico, right? After the 3 questions I asked myself, I went on my whole healing journey. That is when I created Single You Academy, where I teach my 4 pillars to living a successful single life. Because you can have an unsuccessful single life, which is, in a nutshell, thinking I'm this good woman and okay, I deserve a good man, so I'm going to turn him into one. I'm going to cultivate that into him. I'll be the ride or die and make him the man I want to be. That is an unsuccessful single life, because how's that working out for you? Men, people are who they are, not who you want them to be. You've heard me say that before. Men are who they are, not who you want them to be, just because you're a good woman. You can't create that in him. So my 4 pillars to living a successful single life, 2 things you need to know. And you might want to write this down. You have to know who you are outside of what your favorite color is. The who and why of who you are. Know your anxieties, your triggers, so you can create a safe space for you. You got to define you, or society will and men will. That's why that girl, the message I just read to you, can say, well, every time they turn me down or ghost me, it hurts my self-esteem. Yeah, because your identity is tied to men. It's a dangerous space to be in. So my 4 pillars to living a successful single life. Number 1, you got to know who you are. And then number 2, you got to know what you want and how to get it. Because the thing is, I know you want a healthy relationship. If I were to ask you, do you want healthy or unhealthy? Of course, you're going to say healthy, but how do you get it? I argue, if you're here, if you're in my Facebook group, if you follow me, if you interact, you don't know how to get it, and you're probably in a cycle of dysfunction, or you're bitter. And I don't want you bitter either. So you're constantly in this cycle because you know what you want, you just don't know how to get it. I mean, are you going to put up with cheating? Do you believe that men and women can be friends? And I asked that question because my ex didn't think so. I gave up friends for him because I thought he got to define the relationship. So I was tap dancing and doing all these things to prove my love. Look at me, I'm a good woman. Love me. Trying to make him the man that I knew I deserved. Instead of knowing that people don't change. Not most people, because they don't know how to. They don't know where to start. And that could be you too. You're in this cycle of dysfunctional relationship and you want out. You just don't know where to start. I'm going to tell you how I can help you. But let's get through the 4 pillars, okay? So my 4 pillars to living a successful single life, 2 things you need to know. You got to know who you are. then you got to know what you want and how to get it. And then there are 2 behaviors you have to embody. Once you know the first 2, then you have the audacity to believe that you can get it. Because when you have no audacity, that's when you settle. Doing what you're doing now, knowing you're a good woman, or at least believing you are, and thinking you can change men into being the man that you deserve and want. Well, I'm a good woman and I deserve a good man, and I'm going to make him be that good man because I'm going to love him. I'm going to stick around. How has that been working out for you? And the last thing in my 4 pillars to living a successful single life, last thing, the patience to wait for it. How miserable are you willing to be just to be in a relationship? I used to love that. I used to love saying, I got a boyfriend. Oh my God, I got a boyfriend. Ugh. Now I want to throw up in my mouth. And again, this isn't about being bitter. This is about knowing exactly what I want, how to get it, having the audacity to believe that I can get it, and the patience to wait for it. Because if you don't have the patience, you will settle. Right? And I'm looking at this because I actually want to show you a video. I forgot to set up my 2 screens. So we're going to do that right now while I'm on the live. I guess we just, oh, dang it. Okay. Actually, this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to pull it up on this computer. Because those 4 pillars, that's what I teach inside of Single You Academy. So what is Single You Academy? It's my online intensive 16-week inner work program focused on growth for the professional single woman in her 30s and 40s. You want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships with men or that one guy without the overwhelm of feeling mean for saying no. Who are my clients? My clients are women, especially single moms in their 30s and 40s, who are ready to discover their worth and learn how to set clear boundaries. Women who want to stop tying their identity to men. Are you sick of tying your identity to men? And I'm going to pause here real quick because I want to pull this video up for you. I knew I forgot to set something up. You know how when you be like planning something and you're like, dang it, I forgot something. What did I forget? Okay, oh, well, we just start anyway. And that's what I did today. And I definitely forgot this. And I'm pulling it up. Is this resonating with you? News says facts. Yeah. I just want to make sure this is hitting for you. Okay, so share screen. Dang it. I'm going to have to. Dang it. Why didn't I have this ready? Hold on. It's going to make me plug this in because I'm going to show you a testimonial from one of my clients who I coached inside of Single You Academy and the transformation she got. But I just have to set my double screen up. There we go. Because the problem is, so the reason why, again, this is no judgment. Sorry. Hold on. So the reason why I can say all this and it is resonating with you is because I went through this. And so I understand exactly who you are. And I understand that nobody actually sat you down and had a conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship. Nobody explained to you the difference between healthy hard versus dysfunctional and abusive. What did you learn from your parents about relationships? Did anybody sit you down and was like, okay, so this is healthy, this is narcissism, this is love bombing, this is projection? Type yes or no in the comments. Did anybody sit you down and actually have this conversation with you about what makes a healthy relationship versus an unhealthy relationship? I'm seeing nothing. Yep, I know, because I know exactly where you are. So here we go. So this is Sarah. I'm going to have you listen to this. Why did you join Single?
I joined Single You because, like majority of women, they've had hard relationships. I am a single mom, and I wanted to be loved, and I didn't know how. And it was also my issues. And Rika actually helped me figure out how to deal with my issues, how to set boundaries, raise my standards, and not settle for anything less than that. And you know, now I'm a happy person by myself, just raising my son. So yeah, I needed help, and she was there.
Yeah, yeah. So would you tell someone watching right now who was you 8 months ago to join Single You?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just again, I expected this to be a long journey to figure out who I am, my self-worth, what I wanted, and 6, 7, 8 months into it, I was like, holy crap, here I am. Got it. I still use my skills that I learned through Single You every single day.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
I still grow as a person every single day, even though I'm not in Single You.
Yeah.
I love.
So my question to you is, if you are here, especially in my Singleness is Not a Punishment Facebook group, I assume that at one point there was something I said that resonated with you. And I assume that you are in the cycle of dysfunction that you want to get out of. So, I had to put my headphones back. My question to you is, how will you get out of that cycle of dysfunction? Especially if nobody had the conversation with you about how to love yourself first, the behaviors you need to change, the difference between healthy hard versus abusive, toxic, and dysfunctional. How will you get out of that cycle? Because if you want to be a doctor, you know exactly where to go, right? If you want to be a nurse, if you want to be a lawyer, you know exactly where to go. But where do you go if you want to figure out who you are? Where do you go if you want to be in love, in real, true, healthy love? The kind the Bible talks about. Where do you go? Because I know you, again, you know what you want, you don't know how to get it. I know you don't want to be bitter. And I know you want some healing. And I know you want to understand yourself better and how to execute relationships. You just don't know where to start. So I am going to invite you to start with me inside of Single You Academy. Okay? So I'm going to pull this up here so you can read it on Facebook. Single You Academy, like I said, is an online intensive 16-week inner work program focused on growth for the professional single mom, single woman. You don't have to be a mom. I just say single mom because those are the women that I coach the most, just statistically. I've been doing this since 2019, and statistically, single moms. But single women in their 30s and 40s who want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships with men. Probably your baby daddy, like that one guy. Because here's the thing, I dodged a lot of bullets with men, but in 2015, when I met my abusive ex, of course, I didn't know he was abusive then. I passed up all the red flags. It was just this one guy for me, and I had to figure out why I would allow that. One of the things is he was fine, so I just let red flags slap me in the face. So you want to stop that cycle of dysfunction without the overwhelm of feeling mean for saying no. Because that's one of the reasons why you don't stick up for yourself. You don't know how to set a boundary because you feel mean, you feel bad, it's uncomfortable for you. You know what you want, you just don't know how to get it. So my clients are women who are ready to discover their worth and learn how to set clear boundaries. Women who want to stop tying their identity to men. So if this is resonating with you, Single You Academy, the doors are open. You do have to apply. There is an application process because I don't let everybody who applies into Single You Academy. There's an application process, and the doors are open to Single You Academy until June 4th. The doors close June 4th. So I have this website up so you can see what it looks like, and you'll be able to read all about Single You Academy at singleyouacademy.com. But I'm also going to drop the link here in the comments. And if you're watching in the replay, this applies to you as well, as long as you apply before June 4th. So you apply, then you'll be prompted to schedule our Zoom call. And if I accept your application, I will keep the Zoom call. If it's not accepted, I will cancel it, and I'll tell you why. We'll have a conversation about that. But Single You, the doors are open. They do close on June 4th. Think about the woman you want to be 6 months from now. You want to stop the cycle of dysfunctional relationships. And what you've tried, maybe a therapist, you've tried advice from your friends, it's not working. You're still in this cycle and you're like, why? Why would I allow this? Why? And you want steps to become a woman who is truly happily single and who is comfortable in her own skin and setting boundaries, knowing her worth and no longer tying her identity and worth to men. If you want that 6 months from now, I can help you with that if you don't know where to start. I've had a few clients tell me they've had therapists before, which is great to figure out your whys in your childhood. But when they worked with me, I actually gave them steps to become the woman they actually wanted to be. So if what you're trying, meditating, journaling, you're like, but I'm still confused on what healthy compromise is. I don't feel like I know my worth. I don't feel like I know myself. If you want someone to hold you accountable, that's me. Single You Academy, the doors close June 4th. Think about all of the things that you have to study for. You gotta study for your driver's license, the training you have to go through at your job. But when it comes to yourself and love, they don't have no training for it. Where do you go? Where do you go? So if this resonates with you, I want you to send me a DM, or you can type I'm in the chat. And I also want you to go to this website. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Okay. Okay, so the link is in the comments on Facebook. On Instagram, you will have to send me a DM because once I'm done with the live, the video goes away and I can't see your comment, okay? So send me a DM. You can also type I'm in the chat, and then I will reach out to you. Think about all the schooling you have to do for other things. Why don't we have school to figure out who we are? Okay? So that is it for today. Today is Wednesday, okay? Single You Academy is open. The doors close June 4th. If you're in, reach out to me, send me a DM, or type in the chat here on Facebook. If you're watching this on the replay, you can type I'm in the chat as well, and I'll get to you as soon as I can. Send me a DM. It's probably best to do that so I don't miss it. Other than that, you have a great rest of your Wednesday. And if you have any questions, reach out to me. It will not be weird. I won't be like, why is this person sending me a DM? That's weird. What is happening? Obviously, I know why you're sending me a DM. So feel free to. Other than that, have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll talk tomorrow.